may recording today. Sino kasi co-host ko? Yun naman, Miss Iman, Miss Jurel, ang dami-daming kinuhang host. Hindi na ako maka-keep up. Grabe.
Excuse me po.
Sino yan?
Hello, Miss Harriet. This is Jade Go. Hello.
Ang ginagawa mo dito?
Secret. Charot.
So ikaw yung co-host ko for today.
Yes.
Gusto mo, try mo mag-start ng intro for a change naman.
Serving with integrity.
Connecting with sincerity.
Here in Highcast Exclusive.
Presents. Pagod na ako. Pwede bang time out muna?
An original High News Senior podcast.
And also Spotify, powered by Anchor. So, ayan nga po. Actually, medyo surprise ang ating episode topic for today eh. Pero, Miss Jade, alam ba yung pa-hashtag natin per episode?
Yes naman, Miss Harriet. For this episode, our hashtag is #ikalma mo.
Ulit, #ikalma mo. Bakit nga ba ganun ang hashtag natin? Keep on listening, listeners, kung gusto nyo malaman. Kamusta ka, Miss Jade?
Katatapos lang po ng quiz, so I hope I am not as stressed, I guess, for this episode. But I guess the excitement overpowers my exhaustion, di ba?
Oo, kasi first time mo rin mag-host ng episode, no?
Yeah, because, here now, I understand host Ria's excitement. Di ba? Parang di mo mapipigilan magsalita.
Oo nga, tama. Kasi kapag si host real, 'di ba? Sobrang energy to the top. Kaya kailangan natin pantayan 'yon, Miss Jade. Today, alam mo ba, meron tayong two very special guests for our episode.
Yes, we have very, overachievers, I guess. I feel. Kasi, ang hirap po yan.
Overachieve. Miss Jade naman. But there's nothing wrong with being overachievers nga naman since they are trying to reach their goals. And mamaya malalaman rin natin ang experiences nila and struggles nila. Basta lahat ng pinagdaanan nila just to achieve those goals. So, Miss Jade, kindly introduce to us our very first guest.
Joining us today is our fellow Angelenean who will help us understand the topic more from a student's point of view. She's a batch valedictorian, consistent high honors achiever, year representatives of various clubs, former SC member in her previous school. Wait lang, hihinga lang po muna ako. Just kidding. She's Anessa Gail Ingal from grade 11 St. Peter.
Ayan. Miss Anessa, Miss Nessie. Andiyan ka ba?
Yes po, hello.
Okay ka lang?
Yes po, kayo po. Okay pa daw lang po ba kayo ngayon?
Kaya pa.
Kakayanin, oo.
Kaya pa, oo. Kayanin.
For our next guest, the pressure of being a senior high school graduate is really rising, lalo na mag-graduate na tayo, guys. College is just around the corner, and how do they cope up with the pressure? To answer the unanswered, he is a grade 11 silver academic achiever, consistent honors student, a Barbara Yap Angeles scholar, youth ambassador of peace, second runner-up, and a Siam International Math and Science Olympics Achievers Award recipient. Let us welcome Mr. Sean Kyle Tenko. Ang dami! Hihinga rin muna ako, Miss Jade. So, ayan, he is from grade 12 St. Damien. Let's welcome him.
Hello, Miss Alexis.
Hello po. Na-excite ako kasi lagi ko siyang hindi naman lagi, pero kinukulit ko siya kasi dito sa AUFIS may virtual intrams kami. And magka-house kami, magka-team kami. So, every now and then, kinukulit ko yung section niya. Thank you so much for joining us for this episode. Since this episode is very relevant. Puro ako this episode, di pa rin nila alam kung ano pag-uusapan natin today. Pero, surprise ulit, guys.
Yeah, so stay tuned because we'll be hearing more from our guests later.
Pero before that, hindi na mawawala to per episode. Sawa na ba kayo? Anyway, magre-reminders muna tayo. Miss Jade, take it
Yes.
away, please.
Yes, reminder that this episode is designed to connect with you, our listeners. A daily reminder that you are not alone and what you're feeling is totally normal.
Yes, and our experiences are in no way, shape, or form meant to invalidate yours. May sari-sarili tayong struggles.
That's true. We are just simply sharing them to further explain or create a clearer version of what will be discussed in this episode.
It is highly recommended to relax your mind and let this episode speak for itself. Thank you very much. And magsimula na tayo, guys. Ayan. Mr. Sky, as a student achiever, ayan, kamusta na ang schedule mo, buhay mo as a student?
Feeling ko need kong i-vent out to talaga. Kasi
Ah,
yung week natin ngayon, di ba, it's the week before the midterms exam. So,
mm-mm.
parang
Yeah.
yung mga deadlines natin, kaliwat kanan, left and right. And dyan
Mm-mm.
lagi hindi natin alam kung ano yung una nating unahin. Hindi natin alam kung gagawin ba natin muna to or yon. Kaya, I'm somewhat tired, pero kaya naman.
Medyo relate kasi nga by the time na malalabas 'to tapos na siguro ang midterms. Pero right
Yes.
now, during the recording magmi-midterms pa lang. They squeezed midterms into 3 weeks lang, guys. So, medyo rush din ang aming mga tasks, 'di ba, Miss Jade?
Opo.
Opo. Ayan, let's ask naman Miss Nessie. Ikaw naman as a valedictorian, wow! Grabe ha, and an achiever. How are you coping up?
So, parang silang plaka na lang, pero I must admit na right now, of course, ang hirap din niya since we are squeezed talaga in a very tight schedule dahil sobrang ikli lang ng term natin for the midterm period. Pero how am I coping up? So, iba-iba naman kasi. I think it's different for each week or each day. Pero pinaka-consistent is the reward system. I make sure na kahit pa paano nakakapag-rest naman tayo kasi hindi naman natin maiwasan din yung stress sa life natin.
Mm.
Yes.
Lalo na ba, 'di ba, Miss Jade, parang nag-shift tayo into online classes. Ang daming changes, right? Before online classes, when I get stressed, ganyan, pag nawawalan ako ng gana, okay lang, parang hindi it doesn't get to me. Kasi
Yeah.
meron tayong outlet. Andiyan yung mga kaibigan natin, samji-samji lang kapag half day after exams, diretso lalabas tayo, 'di ba? Nakaka-miss. Pero ngayon mas na-emphasize, 'di ba?
From your home kasi, you're not just a student anymore. You're also a daughter, you're also a sibling, and ang hirap siya i-separate. For me, for others, kaya naman nila yon. Sana all po. Pero
Mm.
nagiging patong-patong siya. Yeah.
Mm.
But then again, even a student is not easy.
Tama. Dati, nung ano, face-to-face pa, kunwari after exam, ganun. Anong ginagawa nila to distress? Ako kasi samji and eating with friends, 'di ba? Kayo?
Mm-mm.
Mag-share din ako. Nung back in grade 10, di ba, face-to-face pa tayo grade 10.
Mm.
Yung previous school ko, kapag after ng mga quarters, parang we would plan parang common lunch. Yung masaya pa doon, kasama namin yung advisor namin. Parang buong
Ah,
class with our advisor.
wow.
Parang mga magdadala ng dahon ng saging, very simple lang, mga kanin, kamatis, mga ganon, tapos mga ulam. Tapos yun, sobrang parang nakakaluwag sa feeling. Kasi after nung mga yon, meron tayong reward.
Paano naman ngayon kapag every after exam, ano namang ginagawa mo?
Mm-mm.
Yung ngayon naman, every after, yung coping mechanism ko kasi, maglaro ng mga games. Yung parang
Ah,
kunwari, yung Call of Duty, mga ganon.
mm.
After ng mga exam, syempre, magte-take a break muna ako sa mga academic tasks. Kasi hindi naman natin magagawa yung dati na pagsama-sama since meron pa rin naman pandemic
Yeah.
ngayon.
Oo.
So, ayun.
So,
Very different.
oo.
Very different from before.
Very different nga.
Siguro I will be honest or I must admit na madalas kasi nung face-to-face talaga kaming magkaklase or magkakaibigan, mas una pa namin iniisip o pinaplano yung gagawin namin after exam or after mag-end yung quarter namin. Tapos minsan saan din kami napupunta. Tapos sometimes din kasama din namin yung mga advisor namin or minsan kahit yung ibang section kasi feel namin parang ay kahit anong mang result ng exam, we still deserve this. Parang kailangan namin ng way to distress.
Mm-mm.
Yes.
Tapos, habang naman ng faith ngayon, parang for me, kasi hindi na rin ako pwedeng masyadong lumabas. Hindi naman strict ang parents ko, pero I also choose not to kasi feel ko mas convenient yun for everyone. And then, parang ngayon, I think, isang ano na lang yung pahinga ko, siguro 1 day o kaya 2 days, parang iisipin ko ay after ng exam, sige, I will let myself sleep. Yun talaga yung parang gagawin ko after. Hindi tulad dati na parang after exam, I think, halos isang linggo kaming nagpapahinga ng mga kaklase ko. So, I think it's
Mm.
from each other yung experience ko from face to face nung online na yun.
Tama, tama nga. Ako rin, natutulog ako. Kanina nga, natulog ako mga 2 hours. Tas sinisigurado ko di ako malilate sa recording. Anyway, ayun nga. So, we have shared so many experiences, pero listeners, alam niyo na ba kung ano topic natin? Siyempre, hindi pa.
Yeah, so that's what we missed when it was face to face, no? Although this is the case right now, we should not stop finding ways to loosen up.
Mm-mm.
That's just how life goes. We adapt and move on. Stick around as we dig deeper on what burnout is, its causes, and what it may further lead to. Tips on how to prevent it, and experiences that you might feel connected with.
Ayan. Ayan ang topic natin today.
Yeah.
Listeners, burnout finally, nasabi na rin. Ang daming kwento kanina, tapos ngayon lang masasabi. Alamin muna natin kung ano talaga ang burnout. So, let's time travel. Ating mga listeners, ang corny, no? Inaano ko lang, sinusundan ko lang yung opo, yung script kasi sabi time travel. Sinisid sa script writers. Did you know, listeners, that the term burnout was coined in the 1970s by American psychologist Herbert Pruden
Yan, be.
by Herbert Frullenberger. Hindi ko alam, I'm so sorry. Burnout was used to describe the consequences of severe stress and high ideals in helping professions such as of the doctors and nurses. In the present, the term is used to describe the same for anyone who is stressed out. So actually mamaya, pag-uusapan rin natin ang difference ng stress and burnout since burnout is
Yes.
much more frequent today sa ating pandemic setting. Miss Jade, ano nga ba ang burnout?
So according po sa internet, not from me.
Mm.
Burnout is a form of exhaustion caused by excessive and prolonged emotional, physical, and mental stress. In most cases, it's related to a person's job, but it also happens to students like us, diba?
Mm-mm.
This condition is not medically diagnosed, but it can affect one's physical and mental health if it isn't acknowledged or treated.
Mm-mm.
So, it happens when we are overwhelmed, kapag drained na tayo emotionally or unable to keep up with life or life's demand. Ganon.
Ah, okay. Ang burnout parang pagod tayo, no? Wala tayong gana. Oo.
I think madalas lalo na ngayong online class. Kasi before parang kung mabu-burnout man ako once every quarter lang pero parang ngayon parang feel ko every month o baka nga hindi na siya natatapos. Pero kung nag-burnout, for example, I think pinaka-maano talaga is last month siya. Wherein nagkaroon kami ng I don't know if naano niyo siya pero yung about sa quiz B ng na-inheld na sa Ateneo tapos nun that was Saturday ginawa and then syempre may mga sabay akong mga activities and quizzes doon and then the next week pinagsali ako ni Ma'am Fort sa sa debate tapos Saturday siya ulit so 2 weeks akong magkasunod na wala akong weekends kasi syempre yung Sunday gagamitin ko siya for deadlines and review para sa quizzes sa mga Monday, Tuesday or the following days. And then after nun, nalaman ko, I was informed na prelims exam pala namin next week. I mean, natin next week. So, I was completely burned out. Tapos nun, no, yung considering pa na after nun, na parang feel ko meron pa akong mga hinahabol na ibang kasi may nabigay sa akin na meron palang mga ibang in-announce na assignment na hindi pala ako informed kasi hindi ako nakapasok sa ilang SLA due to parang preparation. So I think yun yung isa sa mga pinaka latest na burnout na nag-experience ko right now sa grade 11.
So, what Miss Nessie mentioned kanina is academic burnout. So, it's defined as a negative emotional, physical, and mental reaction to prolonged study, which results in exhaustion, frustration, lack of motivation, and reduced performance in school, diba?
Mm.
But not to be confused with the occasional occurrence of feeling frustrated because of studying for hours or doing activities and pulling an all-nighter. Kasi kapag sinabi nating burnout, this is the culmination of many weeks or months of studying or working. Kagaya ng sinabi ni Miss Nessie, diba? Parang tuloy-tuloy every week. Wala siyang pahinga. And that's what caused her to feel burnt out. And it's more chronic. It's more of a chronic condition kasi because long-term siya. And not just students. Again, academic burnout is just one. There's also what we call teacher burnout.
Teacher burnout. Actually,
Yes.
oh, I've been thinking about this last week. Our own teacher sa AUFIS. I can see naman yung mga teachers natin, passionate sila. And you can see rin na demanding career to nowadays. Syempre, they form our future, tayong mga estudyante. And you just can't help but think about the long hours they take pag nag-grade, the heavy workload, tapos lalo na ngayon, nagkaroon ng online classes, so paano pa magve-vent yung mga teachers, 'di ba? I feel like now we have to acknowledge din na they're human and they're just like us, pero just in a different level, syempre, they're older, ganun. Sobrang na-appreciate ko sila. Alam namin, we acknowledge the teachers that you also get tired, nababurnout rin kayo. Opo.
We experience burnouts, pero let us acknowledge din yung feelings nila. Kumari, mag-ask tayo about something, tapos very late at night na. Di ba, mayroon mga instances na gano'n, yung about sa activity. Tapos, let us remember na dapat i-respect din natin yung time nila, yung mga
Mm-mm.
teachers. Kasi sila, meron din silang sariling buhay.
Mm-mm.
Meron din silang mga pinagkakabalahan. Sila nga, nag-work na sila, tayo mga students pa lang. So, let us be sensitive, kumbaga, sa time nila at sa time din natin para sa sarili nila.
And I just wanted to add, may mga students na parang sinisisi yung mga teachers kapag sobrang daming workload. Pero they also feel the same na napapagod. Ganun. And it's not their fault. Kasi we students and as a teacher need to accomplish those. So I hope that everyone understand na nababurn out din yung mga teachers
Oo.
natin.
At saka parang 'pag iisipin mo, we all work under the same organization but two very different sectors. Ang ano
Mm-mm.
nila kasi yung mga teachers, they're just kumbaga parang may system sila, they have to follow this certain system.
Mm-mm.
That will cater to us students na yun din yung system na susundan natin. So parang
Yes.
wala tayong choice, right? But to just respect
Mm-mm.
each other's struggles. So ayun.
So how would you know naman pag what you're feeling is a burnout and not a stress? Kasi 'di ba minsan nako-confuse natin sila na, burnt out na ako ganyan, but it was just a day of activities, but the next week's chill ka na, gano'n.
Okay. Ang ano kasi, common notion, 'di ba, kapag kunwari marami tayong ginagawa, mga kaibigan natin sasabihin nila, "Wag ka pa-stress, wag kang
Mm,
pa-ano," gano'n, gano'n. Pero ano, I feel like nowadays, we also have to start saying na you'll get through it, gano'n. Imbes na
mm,
sabihin na, "Huwag ka pa-stress." Pero anyway,
yes.
sabihin na lang muna natin kung anong difference ng burnout tsaka stress. Ngayon, ang burnout kasi puwede siyang maging bunga ng stress. Puwedeng mauna yung
Mm,
stress, puwede rin mauna yung burnout, pero usually ang nangyayari mase-stress muna tayo ta's
mm,
mabu-burnout tayo. So, paano nga yun nangyayari? So, ang stress kasi kumbaga, yun yung too much. That's when we're overstimulated. That's when we feel like You have to engage sa lahat ng nahaharap mo, ang emotions mo, parang it's fiery, ganon. And then, parang nafe-feel mo rin, nag-hair fall ka, ganon. You just feel
Mm.
like ang hectic talaga ng buhay mo ngayon. Now, a burnout naman is usually the opposite of it. It's like, kumbaga, stress is too much, burnout naman is not enough. So that means you're understimulated. 'Di ba? Interesting, 'di ba? So parang ang burnout naman parang feel mo wala ka ng gana, wala ka ng motivation, and unlike kapag stressed ka, feel nila kaya nila gawin in just one go, 'di ba? Parang, hala, ganyan, ganyan,
Mm.
ganyan ang stressed. Ang burnout naman,
Mm.
ganun yung burnout. So, that's actually just a summary of it. Now, Miss Jade, let's talk about what causes burnout naman. Bakit ba 'to nangyayari sa atin?
Yes, Miss Harriet. Usually, burnout is caused by our job, sa mga ginagawa natin, sa mga responsibilities natin sa school, pati na sa bahay. And anyone who feels overworked and or undervalued is at risk for burnout. Dapat know mo yung value mo. Di ka dapat
Mm.
na-undervalue.
Tama.
Gold tayo dito.
Oo, true.
The stressful work or the number of responsibilities does not solely cause it. There are other factors in which includes yung lifestyle natin, personality traits, what you do in your leisure time, ano ba yung mga hobbies mo, ganon. Or simply how you look at the world or yung perspective mo sa life, di ba?
Mag-start naman tayo sa prevalent ngayon, which is work-related causes. Ang
Yes.
which is our work in school. You feel like you have little or no control over work, and feel mo parang walang recognition or reward for your good work. Nung junior high kasi, I was enrolled in a science high school in Baguio. Interesting, 'di ba? Taga Baguio pala si host Harriet. Oo. I was quite just a mediocre student when everyone was achieving their honors. Honor kasi noon 93. So, all of them,
Mhm.
93 and above yung nila, average nila. Ako
Exactly.
parang chill-chill lang. It felt like I was overwhelmed by so many students. I couldn't really speak for myself. Wala akong achievements. Kasi
Mhm.
ako lang to, guys. Sorry. Naging sad girl ako, no? Ako lang to. Ganon yung feeling ko. And I felt like I had no control over my work. And that also actually leads us to our next cause, which is unclear or overly demanding expectations. Nung grade 10 kasi ako, I feel like my classmates expected a lot from me. Sabihin niya lang, star section, best section. Mga teachers pa
Mm-mm.
lang, ang daming ine-expect sa'yo, right? Gusto ko rin naman i-ask si Mr. Sky. Kasi nga, dahil kanina, you know naman na he was a SciAm awardee ba? Or nag-participate siya sa SciAm. Can you tell us about that experience
Yeah,
naman?
actually, yung period na yon, before siya ng, I think, mga before midterms namin. So, yung competition mismo, mga before midterms, alam ko Saturday yun eh. Parang the week before midterms, yung Saturday na yun, yung weekend na yun, yung competition. So, syempre, hindi ko alam kung alin yung uunahin ko, yung examinations ba na madaming subjects or yung mismo competition. Kasi yung competition na yun, parang on the national level na siya. So, um, grabe yung pressure. Grabe yung pressure talaga. And since ako lang yung representative from grade 12, inisip ko na after nito, after ng review ko dito, after ng pagod ko dito sa competition, yung isipin ko na lang yung sa midterm ay sa examination ko next week. So, bali, sobra yung pagkakasunod-sunod na mga ginagawa. After nung exam na yon, grabe yung burnout ko talaga. Kasi na-feel ko talaga na parang wala na akong gana gawin yung schoolworks. Parang ganon. Hindi ko alam kung paano babalik sa parang yung condition mo, kung
Oo.
paano babalik sa condition mo dati na
Ah,
sobrang overachiever, yung parang ganun, yung review ka dito, review.
Mm-mm.
So, yung ginawa ko na lang, yung mga coping mechanisms ko, like, talking with friends. Isa na yun.
Yes.
Sobrang nakaka-help ng mga friends ko talaga sa life ko. Sa family, mag-open ka sa father mo, mother mo, ayun, magkwentuhan kayo. That really helps, guys. Promise. Trust me. Kapag na-vet out mo yung mga feelings mo sa mga parents mo, especially sa kanila, sobrang gaan sa tingin.
Oo.
Tapos ayun, by doing these things, ayun, bumalik na ako unti-unti and natapos yung burnout ko talaga.
I see. That's very interesting. Minention ni Mr. Sky kanina na he did a lot of things para ma-overcome yung burnout niya. Now that actually leads us to our next group of causes, which is our lifestyle related causes. Miss Jade, since bago ka dito and it's
Yeah.
your first year of high news, 'di ba?
Yes.
Did you ever feel pressured naman sa mga skills ng ibang tao? Ganun.
Before joining, I was confident.
Aha.
Pero once I was, in the organization, we had a lot to do from the beginning. Actually, di ba, binugan natin yung mga bagong recruit. Hello, trabaho.
Trabaho nga.
Pero, with you guys, parang mas gumaan siya. Yan nga, di ba? If you have a support system, mas gumagaan siya. Like, I also, read about, like, this experiment, ganyan, na they had to climb a hill with someone. And the experiment was divided to, like, two strangers, ganyan, tas two, like, medyo close friends. And the other is, like, yung best friend. So, habang inaakyat nila yung bundok, those who are really, like, close, yung best friend talaga, na-feel nila, hindi ganong ka-stiff yung parang mountain or hill. Pero sa mga stranger, parang hirap na hirap silang, parang akyatin. And I had the reflection na, yeah, parang with someone, mas kakayanin mo talaga. And that's what we missed in face-to-face, diba? Kasi kapag, online, parang limited tayo sa what we can do.
That's actually a very nice input, Miss Jade. Kasi one of the causes kung bakit nagkakaroon tayo ng burnout is because we work too much and at the same time, hindi natin nakakamit yung socialization natin with our friends. Parang kumbaga, we start forgetting that there are people who will support us. And then, we have relationships outside of our work, our jobs, ganun. And at the same time, nafe-feel mo na responsibility mo nga and you won't ask help from other people. Parang yung sinabi ni Mr. Sky kanina, right? Na nag-open up lang siya sa family niya, nag-open up siya sa friends niya, parang naging okay siya. O, diba? So heartwarming. It really makes you, appreciate the people around you. Yung kinikilig sila. Okay. So, for our next set of causes naman, it's about our personality. No matter what the environment is, wala mangyayari hindi ka uusad kung hindi mo rin alamin yung causes internally. Usually, people become perfectionists.
Feel ko in every project kasi, for example, when I pass essays or paragraph, short answered questions, binabasa ko ng buo yun, tapos hindi ko siya titigilan babasahin ng ulit-ulit, or hindi ko siya ipapass, hanggat hindi ko siya nabasa ng buo. Hindi ko ipapass, kahit ilang pages pa yan, kahit 30 pages pa yan, uulit-ulitin ko talaga siya. Parang sagabal nga siya, nahihinder niya kasi yung workflow ko. Kasi, for example yun, sometimes, lagi nga sinasabi sa akin ng mga kaibigan ko, tsaka ni ate ko, pwede na yan i-pass mo na hindi naman mapapansin. Kasi nga parang sabi nila, ako na lang daw nakakapansin. Sabi nila, ano pang mali mong nakikita? Wala akong nakikita, ganyan. Tapos yun, instead of sometimes na mas maaga siguro natatapos dapat sa work, ang tendency minsan umaabot pa ako talaga ng kung anong oras para lang ma-check ko talaga siya or parang masatisfy niya talaga yung gusto ko. Tsaka feel ko katulad din yun, for example, kapag group works, tapos ang perfectionist mo, tapos minsan pinagawa mo sa iba, tapos mamayang konti, parang ang dami ko ring nare-revise. Well,
Oo.
ko yung toxic personality ko ngayon, parang mamayang konti ang dami ko din mare-revise. Ang nangyayari, kahit may willing naman na iba, parang dahil sa personality kong yon na papasa sa akin yung work or nagkakaroon ako ng extra na ginagawa dapat.
Opo, tama nga naman. Actually, medyo relate ako. Kasi mahilig ako sa
Mm.
paggagawa ng PubMats, gano'n. And then kapag kunwari merong spacing na hindi equal sa isang side, gano'n, titignan ko talaga tapos check ko, pa-side ganyan itsura, pa-side ganyan itsura.
I mean, I feel like every one of us has experience ng gano'n, 'di ba? Parang it's never enough yung mga ginagawa natin.
Oo, tama. So, ayun, sometimes other people have a pessimistic view of yourself and the world. Now, that's another cause of a burnout.
Nangyayari to sa akin kapag parang kahit may na-achieve ako, parang never naging enough para sa akin. Parang
Mm-mm.
parang meron pa ring kulang kahit sobrang kahit sobrang okay na yung nakuha mo, pero parang may para sa iyo merong kulang pa rin. Ako
Tama.
ano ako, isa akong optimistic na person. Like,
Mm-mm.
tinitingnan ko yung good sa isang bagay. So, yung pagiging pessimistic ko talaga, sobrang minsan. Tapos kapag yung mga minsan na yun, sobrang masasabi mong medyo malala, in a way,
Oo,
kasi
oo. Ako rin parang medyo chill ako when it comes to my academics. So, parang hindi naman ako pressured, ganun. Pero at the same time, kunwari, bibigay sa akin 59/60. Syempre, iisipin mo,
Oo,
di pa ibigay
hindi
yung
ko
1
kailangan
Alam mo yun, yung ang damot. I'm so pessimistic about it na parang hindi, I'm not enough anymore, hindi na ako magaling, gano'n.
Oo.
So, sometimes we get caught up, 'di ba? Papa-sad boy, sad girl ka na lang ng di oras, right? Yan, kalma muna tayo, guys. Alam ko gigil tayo minsan sa mga teachers natin na hindi na pinerfect yung outputs natin. But that's okay. Ngayon, the next cause, feel ko, applicable to sa mga palaging leaders. They grew up to be presidents, officers, ganon. And that one cause is the need to be in control. Ayan. Control freak ako. Ayan. Miss Nessie, since you're a perfectionist, medyo relate ka ba dito sa you have to be in control?
Totally. Kahit anong ginagawa naming project or minsan feel ko parang sarili ko na lang din yung nagpapahirap sa sarili ko kasi sometimes wala namang nagsasabi sa'yo na yes, leader ka for this, pero it doesn't mean na ikaw lahat yung gagawa. Parang yes, you are in control, nililid mo lang sila, pero hindi naman din need talaga sometimes na ikaw lahat. Feel ko yun din talaga, nakaka-relate talaga ako. Lalo na kasi pag perfectionist ka, parang maisip mo, ayoko, gusto ko pa rin gawin 'to kasi parang feel mo, eto yung makaka-satisfy sa'kin.
Oo,
Mm.
tama. 'Di ba, 'di ba? Parang you can't help yourself. Oh, sa research ko ngayon, that's my case right now. We're actually 11 in one group. Isipin niyo 'yun, 11 sa
Oh.
isang group. And you have to manage and delegate the tasks to 10 people. Tapos, alam mo yun, ang hirap be. So, ayun. From control freaks to sad girls and sad boys to perfectionist. Meron na naman tayong mga high achieving type A personality. Now, I personally myself am an achiever. Ang mga kasama natin ngayon, achievers sila, of course.
ako naisip ko din na siguro mag-chill ka muna. Pero chill in a way na hindi mo pa rin papabayaan yung akal mo. Like in a way na parang magpapabaya ako kasi
Mm-mm.
that's not the right thing talaga. Para sa
Mm. I also have to follow that tip. Chill muna, pero at the same time, huwag pabayaan. Ayun. Dumako naman tayo kung paano naman natin malalaman kung magkaka-burnout ba tayo or meron na ba tayong burnout. Ngayon,
So again, like we mentioned, yung burnout is a gradual process. Hindi lang siya one time. Parang siyang patong-patong na. So, these are the signs to look out for, 'di ba? Kapag burnt out na tayo, we feel like every day is a bad day. Yung ipapahinga mo parang useless. I think that's not the case, 'di ba? Kasi pahinga yun eh. That's what will recharge us to do more, 'di ba? Yung life naman, hindi lang siya about, 'di ba? There's so much more that you can actually do, 'di ba? I wish I could, 'di ba? I wish I could just take every path possible. Lagi kong sinasabi sa mga friend ko. Kasi sobrang ang dami kong gustong gawin. Ganun, 'di ba? Parang gusto mo gawin 'to, gusto mo gawin 'yan. But it's never enough time also, ganun, and energy. Ganun. Kapag wala ka ng energy to do things, Tapos kapag exhausted ka na all the time, kung wala kang energy to do things, kahit gusto mo namang gawin, di ba? Yung parang gusto mong gawin pero hindi mo lang kaya, you can't actually like move. Parang ganun. Di ba? Do
Mm,
you feel
tama.
that as well?
Oo, yun ang masasabi ko, oo, oo talaga. Kasi ano, yung mga ginagawa ko parang walang impact, gano'n. Kaya matutulog na lang
Mm,
ako. Pero at the same time, nagi-guilty ako. Pero parang gusto ko lang
mm,
matulog palagi, gano'n. Gano'n yung burnout ko. So,
mm.
ayun.
Pero importante kasi yun, eh, 'di ba, na to rest. Pero hindi kasi rest yung tawag na nagpapahinga ka, pero yung isip mo nandito sa work. 'Di ba, hindi yun pahinga for me. Did you really rest? Kasi mental health, yes, mental health is also important, 'di ba?
Mental,
So, yes.
mental health, yes. This is our new motto, guys. Mental health, yes. Okay. Ako naman ang sasabihin ko lang is to watch out for your physical and emotional and of course behavioral uh, signs. So syempre
Mm,
kapag sumasakit na ulo mo, drained ka, emotional naman kapag you feel like you have no motivation. Kapag behavioral naman, you start doing things na hindi mo masyado ginagawa dati, pag di ka na nagpapas ng agad-agad, ganun. There are so many signs to look for. Parang if you determine kasi na may signs na, syempre you can act on it, 'di ba? Pero there are
yes.
times rin na you don't have to act on it, you just have to let things be. And you have to take
Mm,
your time. Yun naman ang aking pinakamalaking advice. Instead of fighting it, let it be. So, ayun.
mm.
Um,
Kaya pa ba? Well, now that we have grasped the definition of burnout and its causes, it's time naman how to prevent them and how to get back naman on your track when you've experienced burnt out.
Pasintabi po, Angeleneans businesses are here. Established by the talented Yuna Baul, Happy Fits sells high-quality tops at low prices, as well as crocheted alcohol bottle holders and keychains, only at Happy Fits on Facebook.
Actually, ang galing nito eh. Ito ang tawag naming 3R approach. That is recognize, reverse, and resilience. Now, recognize is when you watch out for the warning signs and ayun nga, sinabi na ni Miss Jade kanina yung mga signs and red flags. And when you reverse, you try to undo the damage or fix by seeking support. And then resilience is when you build your resilience by taking care of your physical, emotional, and mental health. That's when you adjust na. Yun.
Yes, our tip number one is to seek help or turn to other people. So reach out to one that are closest to you, or you feel like they will not judge you when you open up. So social contact is a nature's antidote to stress, diba? The person doesn't have to fix the situation. They just have to listen attentively and
Mm-hmm.
without judgment. And next is limit your contact with negative people. Again, it's also not healthy to surround yourself with people who doesn't help themselves, 'di ba? So spend time with people who are good for your mental health.
So, para sa akin kasi, yung mga friends ko kasi, nandyan lagi sila para sa akin. Like, sa mga friends ko, I can say na parang walang tapon. Kasi, nandyan lagi sila
Mm-mm,
to listen to me. Pero, siguro, how to deal with negative people, yung pinaka-important na, or yung pinaka-main na dapat gawin ay lumayo sa kanila. Like, in the first place, wag sila yung, um, don't seek help from them. Kasi,
mm-mm,
mas lalong magiging negative lang yung buhay mo. Hindi maayos yung problem mo kung anong problem meron. Siguro seek help to those who can help you.
mm-mm. That's true, no? Kasi they will only give negative feedback rin, which is understandable. But yun nga, since we're taking care of ourselves, which is not selfish, diba? Kasi when you help yourself, you can help more.
Ayun. So, don't forget to cut off toxic people in your life because that's not being selfish. It's just taking care and looking out for yourself. So, let's move on naman sa tip number 2. Come on, let's go. You have to reframe the way you look at your work. Now, I actually need to follow this. Now you have to find the value in your work, and that's when you change your attitude towards your work para makatulong naman sa fulfillment mo and sense of purpose tsaka control mo. Kahit boring yung work mo, try to shift your perspective, focus on the importance of doing it, and try to find enjoyment in it. Find the balance in your life as well. When you allot time for things that you are passionate about, parang hindi nawa-waste yung time mo. Yun nga yung sabi nila, when you enjoy the time, it doesn't mean you're wasting the time na, 'di ba? Um, Next naman is to take time off. Lagi namin ine-emphasize to kanina. Take a rest when you need it and use your free time to replenish your energy and use this time wisely. Actually, gusto ko i-shout out ang AUFIS for providing us a week to just rest. And ayan, ang tawag namin kasi dyan is our Cloverleaf Week, which is our academic break. May mga testimonies, mga comments, yung mga nagsasabi na ginagawa nila schoolwork nila during Cloverleaf. Pero at the same time, we also have to acknowledge na it's a big privilege na actually na meron tayong 3 days to 1 week. Isipin nyo yun, 3 days to 1 week of just time to ourselves para gawin yung mga gusto natin. And I'm so thankful for AUF that na nagpro-provide sila ng ganun sa atin.
For me kasi, nakaka-help talaga siya. Kasi kapag inisip mo, parang kunwari, after exam, may isip mo agad is, ay, meron pa akong 1 week or yun nga, 3 days, 1 week na pwede ko palang i-accomplish yung mga to. Kasi, di ba, I think sa ating lahat naman, kapag Cloverleaf, hindi naman kasi sila nagbibigay din ng deadlines, more on after siguro. So, hindi tayo agad na pressure na parang right after exam, ay hindi, kailangan ko na itong tapusin, kailangan ko na itong gawin kasi parang meron kung maiisip mo, meron pa akong ample time to do this. Parang may binigay sa akin yung AUF. And at the same time, syempre, hindi naman natin maiiwasan na at some point, magagamit din natin yung Cloverleaf sa mga schoolworks natin or academic tasks. Pero kasi, iba pa rin, parang nabibigyan ka pa rin niya ng time to rest.
Ako, I would just like to add na yung Cloverleaf Week natin, remember na hindi lang siya limited sa mga paggawa ng schoolworks. Like, this is our time kasi yung Cloverleaf Week. We can do so much more. Pwede natin makaband yung mga friends natin, yung mga parents. Syempre, while still following health protocols, di ba? Hindi limited ang Cloverleaf Week natin sa schoolworks. It is also included din ang personal life natin.
May choice ka if you want to go sa personal life mo or may choice ka ring gawin yung mga schoolwork mo. And yun nga, yung choice mo, kailangan mo rin pag-isipan. Wala lang. Gusto mo pumasa, bumagsak. Ikaw bahala dun. Diba? Ayan.
So, tip 3 naman, to re-evaluate your priorities. So, you have to set boundaries, diba? Try not to overwhelm yourself with work, and you have to learn how to say no. We have to remind ourselves that saying no allows us to say yes to more important things. Wow.
Tama.
And, wow, yeah. I like this.
True.
Highlight ko po.
Oo, susulat ko na po.
And next is to nourish your creative side. Creativity is a powerful antidote to burnout. Try something new, start a new project, resume your favorite hobby, embrace your creativity. So this is i-add ko lang sa Cloverleaf kasi I have a varied interest and hobbies, but I do it as, parang to distress, ganyan.
So as I mentioned earlier, mahilig ako sa mga games talaga. So sa mga mobile games.
Mm-mm.
So you journal yung mga hobbies mo.
Mm-mm.
Well, ako naman, yun yung ginagawa ko. Mag-games, mobile games,
Yes.
games, gano'n. Both. Any of the two. Pinapasaya talaga ako.
Oo, di ba? Next is getting plenty of sleep. Grabe, sobrang importante nito. Because when we sleep, we allow ourselves to be more productive and do better in our work. Yes, we know we have a lot to do, and actually time management is a skill. I think I need to apply it with myself kasi minsan, di ba, sobrang dami. Ang hirap schedule i-plan minsan. But we should not compromise sleeping kasi this will also recharge us to do better, di ba?
Add ko lang yung sa plenty of sleep kahit hindi ko sinusundan.
Mm-mm.
Lagi sinasabi ng nanay ko sa akin to sleep kasi when you sleep, that's when, like scientifically, that's when your cells repair itself, gano'n. Repair your body. So, kaya nga kapag yung mga puyat, may times na nagkakaroon ng eye problems, yung iba hindi na tumatangkad.
Grabe, grabe ka.
Natamaan ka? Oo. Ayun. So, it doesn't only contribute to our physical health rin, pero when you sleep, ako kasi pag kumpleto tulog ko, ang fresh ko eh. Parang
Mm-mm.
kayang-kaya kong gawin lahat. Pero kapag puyat ako, lalo akong pagod. So, parang wala rin
Mm-mm.
lang nangyari. Natulog pa ako kung pagod pa ako, 'di ba? Let's move on naman our fourth and fifth tip. And that's to exercise and have a healthy diet. Sinasabi ko, pero hindi ko sinusundan. Ayun, alam naman natin na pandemic ngayon, ang daming oras para mag-workout noon nung wala pa tayong pasok. 'Di ba nasuspend yung pasok? Pero I still chose not to exercise. Pero anyway, that's actually a very good tip. And we really have to exercise kasi nga our physical health, katawan natin, connected talaga siya sa brain natin. And exercising is a way to lift your mood, increase energy, to sharpen your focus, and to relax both mind and body. So, ayan, pag healthy diet naman, although we are not professionals, we are not really to comment on this, on how an individual should eat and how like their intake should be, pero you may consult other people regarding this.
Kapag ngayong parang busy, hindi ko na talaga siya ginagawa. Pero siguro kapag talaga walang ginagawa, consistent ako sa kanya sa everyday. Pero ngayon, pero parang ano na lang, moderation. Kapag kaya, gagawin. Pero kapag hindi, hindi ko rin naman ipipilit. Baka kasi ma-over-fatigue ka naman kung mag-workout ka pa right
Oo.
after.
Ano pa ba yung mga ginagawa mo parang mga specific activities sa routine mo kapag na-feel mo nang magkakaroon ka na ng burnout or 'pag nase-stress ka na?
So, first of all, I self-reflect kasi alam ko naman kung ano yung kaya ko and hindi, kung kaya ko pa ba, gano'n, alam ko din naman. And afterwards, siyempre iisip din ako ng ways, ano ba ginawa ko last time, paano ko 'to kinayanan, ganyan. Nagte-take ako ng break, as in literal na feel ko social media break or hindi naman din talaga ako lagi nagso-social media, parang wala man ako masyadong app sa phone ko about social media. Pero yung ginagawa ko is parang sometimes I disconnect with people. Parang two types lang. Either I disconnect with people, syempre parang if healthy naman yung circle mo, gets naman nila yung kapag bigla kang nawawala. Alam na kung ano ginagawa mo. Pero kung sometimes naman kapag gusto ko lang din na may kausap or parang I want someone na parang to cheer me up, gusto ko na parang something na makakapag-abala sa akin para hindi ko masyadong maisip yung mga ganyan. Lumalabas ako o kaya naman hanap ako ng tao or ng bagay na makakaintindi sa akin. And if walang feel ko parang hindi kaya din ng iba na i-take 'to, ako na, magte-take na ako ng initiative kasi parang sino pa bang mag-help din sa sarili ko if not me. Tapos I also take journals every day. Tapos parang minsan tini-take time kong basahin yung mga days dati na parang feel ko sobrang tough nila parang gusto kong alalahanin kung bakit ako nag-start, ano ba yung gusto ko, ba't ko pinipilit gawin 'to, gano'n po.
So, ang itatanong ko naman si Mr. Sky, since grade 12 ka, 'di ba? Grade 12 ka, 'di ba? Sure ako. May parang advice ka ba or tips sa mga incoming grade 12 students to avoid or prevent burnout since yun nga, pipili na rin sila ng strand. Hala, may sarili silang elective.
Yung sa akin siguro, align siya sa mga tips. Especially dun sa, I think, tip number 3, yung re-evaluate your priorities. Yung golden tip ko siguro, if you may, manage your time. Time
Mm.
management. Siguro, kuha ka ng your notebook, tapos jot down mo yung mga kailangan mo gawin, tapos i-prioritize mo kung ano yung mga unang deadlines, yung mga una, tsaka yung mga medyo next month pa, gano'n, next week, gano'n. Additionally, dapat alam mo yung priorities mo in a way na, kunwari, ako, di ba, mahilig din ako sa mga games. Pero ako, yung nag-game lang ako kapag tapos na ako sa mga tasks ko na mas important.
Mm.
Schoolworks, gano'n, yung mga essays ko, mga outputs ko. Ginagawa ko muna yun bago ko gawin yung mga sa um, na mga for my leisure time. So, yun nga, ang main advice ko sa mga incoming grade 12 students, especially may mga strands na manage your time properly.
That's correct actually. 'Pag hindi mo kasi nama-manage time mo, baka you'll feel bombarded. Now, we talked about how to prevent burnout. Now, let's tackle how to cope with burnout, 'di ba, Miss Jade?
So it's really important, no? Para kaya pa natin. Kasi pag na-burn out tayo, parang feeling natin ang hirap ng to get out of it. Kahit na gusto naman natin. And here are some tips to get you right back on track.
Mm. Tulad ng sinabi ni Miss Jade kanina, hindi natin parang maiiwasan na talagang mangyayari ang burnout. And just like I said kanina, we try to let things be ren and you take your time. We have to take regular breaks. Ayan, we can't stress this enough. And of course, drink your water. Of course, kapag ako kasi, lagi akong may tubig. Kaya lagi ako umiihi. Okay. Understand the source of your stress. Ngayon, ito ang palagi ko rin sinasabi sa friends ko. Ay, lagi ko sila pinipiga. Bakit? Why? And that's because to let them understand talaga the source of why they're stressing out. And I think that really helps them para ma-assess naman kung anong gagawin nila. Like solutions para sa sources na yun. Next, we have to reach out. Na yun nga, sabi rin ng ating guests is to reach out, open up to people you trust and the people you
Mm-mm.
love. Stop comparing yourself nga naman. Students put unnecessary pressure on themselves and if they get a lower grade than their friends, parang nagpapanik sila, feel nila nagfe-fail sila. Actually, ano yun eh, ako rin sometimes nafe-feel ko yun. Pero I have to remind you guys that getting a grade, parang a certain grade na hindi pasok sa standard mo, it doesn't really translate na you're worthless na. Dapat tanggalin natin yung isip na yun eh, na that number is what defines our skills. Although yes, it can
Mm-mm.
help with college applications, ganun, pero in the real world, hindi nila tatanungin yan. Hindi nila tatanungin, anong grade mo sa math? Hindi nila yung tatanungin. Ang tatanungin nila, ano, hardworking ka ba? Are you enthusiastic? Are you willing to work? Are you
Mm-mm.
honest? Yun ang tatanungin nila. This is similar to understanding the source of your stress, but that is to break down your problems. There's this one saying, something a very wise man once said to me is, you can't eat the elephant in one go. And that's from Professor Jackson. Kilala niyo ba siya? Katropa ka siya eh. Char. Joke lang. Ano, this actually just means na breaking down your tasks into manageable chunks will reduce your stress levels and will reduce the impact of burnout. I actually like this kasi kapag bombarded tayo and hindi natin alam yung talagang problema natin, ang ginagawa ko is parang bine-breakdown ko nga kung academic problem ba siya, kung personal problem ba siya, kung is it just an internal problem na ginagawa-gawa lang ng kaka-overthink ko. So that sobrang nakakatulong yun. And last but not the least is to learn to know when to step back. So, kapag alam mo na nga na nandyan na yung, kunwari kapag tumatawid ka, alam mo na nga nandyan yung kotse, i-go-go mo pa ba? Siyempre hindi. Stopping doesn't really mean that you're lacking na. Stopping doesn't mean you're worthless na. Stopping just means you can rest. Ayan. Diba? Take a breather, guys. Allow yourself to relax and acknowledge that you get tired too. Acknowledge your struggles. You don't have to compare your struggles to other people. Meron ding tayong naririnig palagi, 'di ba, from our friends na whenever we try to cope with burnout and that's to stay positive. Eh,
Oo.
Pero I think we have to parang 'di ba Miss Jade, kailangan natin medyo alisin yung mindset na 'to, na not
Mm-mm.
everything has to be solved with positivity, and too much positivity can lead to toxic positivity.
That's
Now, Miss
true.
Jade, before we actually end our topic, I really want to emphasize this part, yung toxic positivity on academic burnout.
Hindi kasi, 'di ba, when we talk about positivity, generally, kapag positivity kasi, parang ngayon, 'di ba, parang nga yung sinasabi natin kanina, na dapat hindi tayo maging pessimistic, but it doesn't mean that we should be optimistic all the time. Kasi we should allow ourselves to feel nga what's negative para ma-assess natin what's wrong. Kasi 'pag sinasabing, "Oh, positive lang dapat, ganyan-ganyan." Parang sinu-suppress mo yung emotion na dapat
Mm.
namang ilabas para maging magaan na yung feeling. Kasi 'pag kinikip mo lang, mas lalo siyang bumibigat and it really doesn't help.
Tama nga. So, parang nai-invalidate nga 'di ba kapag
Mm.
positive lang palagi. Eh, dito nga sa Highcast Exclusive na lagi namin inuulit na you're valid, you're so valid. We also have to think realistically na you can't be positive at all times, and
Oo.
we have to acknowledge na we will fail at some point in our lives, and that's part of success.
I would also like to comment about toxic positivity. As honestly, me and my friends were really against it kasi parang feel namin it makes people's feelings invalid kasi parang whatever you're going through, okay lang yan kasi meron naman masasolve yan basta ganito lang, insert such inspirational quotes na won't work sa iba, it's situational kasi.
So, pakinggan naman natin ang takeaway ng ating mga guests.
Okay, so first of all, no, ang informative talaga ng mga tinakal natin today, and I think it's very relevant, especially sa ating mga Angeleneans right now. So everyone experience this, yung burnout. I won't say na parang it is, whatever you're going through is actually okay, but I know it will be eventually as long as you know how to handle it. Kasi your feelings are valid. And sa mga listeners natin, I want to say na if you happen to realize that you are burnt out right now, first of all, carefully assess yourself and always self-reflect. Kasi parang feel ko nagsa-start yan within. Yes, meron tayong mga internal and external factors, pero kasi tayo lang din yung makaalam yan. So I think it is very essential na na parang alamin talaga natin and we apply lahat ng mga binigay nating tips. So hindi lang sa pag-cope up, pati na rin sa pag-alam if you are burnt out. Kasi how can we correct it or how can we cope up with it if hindi naman tayo aware, and let us know how to set boundaries for ourselves, let us work on our own pace, and I hope everyone who is listening right now and they feel like even they are burnt out or nag-start pa lang or kahit hindi, kung ano man ang pinagdadaanan nyo right now, remember na life is not a race, hindi naman tayo, meron tayong kanya-kanyang ginagawa, we have our own purpose, we have our own things or our own goals that we want to achieve. Pero at the same time, while focusing on our goals, let us not forget about ourselves kasi yung sarili natin, tayo mismo tayo yung magiging agent, tayo mismo yung way to achieve whatever we are going through right now. And we are here for you, and I know there are a lot of people na nandyan para sa inyo kung ano mang pinagdadaanan nyo, and I wish everyone that you are all okay.
It's a misconception that burnouts do not happen in an online setup. They happen. They're normal. And don't feel bad because you're burned out. Don't feel like you're not capable because you're tired with doing this much work. Remember, guys, this much work is still work. You're progressing little by little. We are human and we are not robots. Our emotions are valid and ourselves are valid too. And let me share something that I actually saw on TikTok, that sometimes you're not burnt out because you have loads of work to do and keep procrastinating, or even because of other people stressing you out. You're burnt out because you haven't done something you actually love to do in months. You've just been turning your brain off. Your room got messy without you noticing. You haven't moved your body more than walking around your house, and your sleep is still very, very bad. But it's okay. You're gonna make small readjustments to feel like you again. And that's all that matters. Okay, guys, shout out to the best research group ever. Shout out to Antonina, to Carl Nathan, to Herschel, and to close, and especially the best advice of Exxon all. Lastly, do your research. To remind, please, please, please exercise your vote wisely, guys. Exercise your right to vote. Please vote wisely. It's coming on 2020.
I wanted to thank our support system talaga. Kasi pag tayo lang, it will feel much better kasi if we're with someone, di ba? Lagi nating nasusuggest yun. Kapag meron tayong karamay, mas napapagaan lang siya. That's it, di ba? We have to acknowledge them, thank them, and in return, we also give them support.
Alam ko relevant tong topic na to. Maraming nagkakaroon ng burnout nowadays kasi online classes nga and we feel like we can't escape this reality kasi nga hindi natin may iwasan yung COVID cases. Let's be patient, and the only thing I can say is this happens. Don't fret, don't panic. Things will fall into place, and take your time. So, ayun, thank you for listening to today's episode. If you want to know more about our guests, you can reach them on their social.
Then, Instagram, guys, at caltechco_. And sa Twitter, kahit na hindi ako masyadong active doon, at caltechco.
You can reach me out through my Instagram na lang para hindi kasi tambak doon. At _Annette.Gylleee.
You can also follow me at Instagram kahit hindi po ako social media at JadeXXGo. Di ba hindi pinag-isipan? Kasi hindi naman ako IG.
You guys can follow me on Instagram at LexHarriet. I post mini-series there, a minute of my life. And you can also check out some videos sa YouTube ko. Although I stopped posting there na. It's LexHarriet na rin. O, diba?
And also, don't forget to follow us on our Spotify and YouTube. Click nyo na rin yung notification bell to be updated with our new episodes.
If you have any questions, stories, or violent reactions, email us at highcastexclusive@gmail.com.
Kung may say ka naman about our topic this episode, let us know using the hashtag ikalma mo.
Stay tuned for our next episode. This is Highcast, where you hear beyond stories.